On a podcast interview that went viral, she confidently said,
"Ladies, know your worth. If a man can spend millions on you, he does not deserve your time."
She poured into the phone one evening, pretending to be an American woman in distress.
"Hey love, I really need to talk to you about something that's been weighing on my heart."
"I never wanted it to come to this," Daniel said, loading the weapon. Before Nikky could respond, the sound of glass shattering downstairs sent her. Aduni has always been the center of attention, but not always for the right reasons. In her small hometown of Akeju, her beauty was both a blessing and a curse. While the women envied her striking features and elegant poise, the men were drawn to her like moths to a flame. Her husband, Adekunle, a hard-working but traditional man, grew suspicious of her flamboyant ways and constant late-night outings. He had married her for her beauty, but her charisma made him insecure. The cracks in their marriage began to show early, but they widened significantly when rumors started to circulate. One fateful day, Adekunle overheard a conversation at a local palm wine bar about Aduni and a prominent businessman. "I saw her at the Continental Hotel," a drunk man said. She was laughing and clicking glasses like she owned the place. Adekunle clenched his fists and stormed out, fury clouding his judgment. That night, their fight erupted into a screaming match. "I have sacrificed so much for this family," Aduni said, "and I have tolerated more than any man should," Adekunle responded. His voice echoed through the thin walls of their modest home. The neighbors, long accustomed to their nightly spectacles, gathered outside, whispering and exchanging knowing glances. The final straw came when Adekunle, in a fit of rage, threw Aduni's belongings out onto the street. She left with nothing but a small suitcase, a sense of pride, and her 7-year-old daughter, Adenike. In Ibadan, Aduni was determined to rewrite her story. Settling into a small flat in a bustling neighborhood, she declared to Adenike,
"Can you see how your father treated us? That is why you should see men as tools. Use them before they use you."
Her words became the cornerstone of their new life. Adenike watched her mother transform from a disgraced wife to a woman who commanded attention wherever she went. She absorbed her mother's lessons like a sponge. Aduni kept reminding her, "We must escape poverty, Nikky. Love is a luxury we cannot afford." At 15, Adenike was already looking all beautiful, like a woman. Her mother never allowed her play with her mates. In her exact words, "They have nothing to offer you." At 19, Adenike had blossomed into a beautiful woman. Her caramel skin glowed under the Ibadan sun, and her hourglass figure turned heads wherever she went. Men from all walks of life tried their luck with her, but none met Aduni's high standards. One day, Kolade, a local government worker, visited Adenike. He arrived confidently, parking his motorcycle outside the flat. Adenike was polite but firm. "I'm sorry, but you're not my type." Kolade persisted, trying to win her over with compliments and promises of love. Aduni, hearing the commotion, stepped out with a bowl of water and splashed it on him. "Leave this place with your wretchedness and don't ever come back again," she barked. Kolade, soaked and humiliated, left in silence. Adenike decided to reinvent herself after that incident. She shortened her name to Nikky and added Berry for flair. Her social media accounts became her stage, where she showcased a life of luxury. With Aduni's encouragement, Nikky began collaborating with local brands, presenting herself as a model and influencer. Her breakthrough came when she met Olajide, better known as Olamoni, at a high-end club in Lagos. Olajide was a celebrated Yahoo boy. He was famous for living large and always spraying monies at parties. Within weeks, Nikky moved in a penthouse in Victoria Island, courtesy of Olajide. The apartment was her dream. Floor-to-ceiling windows, marble countertops, and a walk-in closet for her growing collection of designer clothes. Olajide introduced her to Lagos elites, and soon her social media following skyrocketed. "Do you see this, Mama?" Nikky said one evening, showing her mother a video of her posing at a luxury event. Aduni beamed with pride. "You are a star, my darling. Let the world see it." On her 20th birthday, Olajide threw her a surprise birthday and gifted her an iPhone and a Mercedes-Benz car. His Yahoo friends turned the event into a carnival of champagne and money spraying. Nikky's fame extended beyond Instagram. Brands clamored to work with her, inviting her to exclusive events and gifting her designer items. Her fan base grew rapidly, and she began to embody the persona of a luxury lifestyle coach. On a podcast interview that went viral, she confidently said,
Ladies, know your worth. If a man can spend millions on you, he does not deserve your time.
Aduni was ecstatic. "You have become their role model," she said one evening as they drank champagne on the balcony of Nikky's penthouse. "Every young woman wants to be like you." Nikky sipped her drink, her eyes twinkling. "Mama, we've made it." Olajide took her to places she has never been before. They went for boat cruise and other expensive trips and shopping. Nikky only wore designer outfits. She was admired so much on social media by young ladies who were desperate to be like her. She would always make videos advising young ladies to avoid broke men. So, among the male folks, she was not liked at all. All fathers felt she was misleading their daughters, and boyfriends felt she was a bad influence on their girlfriends. Nikky always showcased her success on social media. She made success look so cheap. Her inbox overflowed with messages, some from admirers, others from detractors. A fan once sent her a diamond necklace with a handwritten note that read, "For the Queen of Luxury." Nikky laughed and tossed the card aside. "It is their money I want, not their love," she said to her mother. Behind the scenes, her relationship with Olajide grew strained. He began questioning her loyalty. He noticed her increasing independence and frequent meetings with other wealthy men. Their arguments escalated, and Nikky began avoiding him, finding solace in her growing fame. Her mom often encouraged her, "What you have is not for him alone. It is for the highest bidder. We didn't come to Lagos to count bridge," and they both laughed. On one sunny afternoon, Nikky's world took an unexpected turn. She had just left Olajide's place for the bank to help Olajide pick up $20,000 a client had sent. On her way back, as she pulled up to Olajide's mansion in her Mercedes, she noticed something unusual. Flashing police car lights and armed agents surrounding the premises. Her heart raced as she saw Olajide being dragged out in handcuffs. "Olajide Akintola, you are under arrest for fraud and romance scam," an officer declared. The once confident man now looked terrified as he was shoved into a police vehicle. Panicked, Nikky reversed and sped away. She called Aduni, her hands trembling. "Mama, they've arrested Ola." "Good riddance," Aduni replied nonchalantly. "Focus on the money you have. Find another one. You are too beautiful to waste time on a man in prison." Nikky quickly deleted all traces of Olajide from her social media and blocked his number. Some of his associates who knew about their relationship tried to contact her, but she ignored them. When news of his sentencing broke, Nikky felt no remorse. "I wasn't the one scamming people," she said to herself. "I just enjoyed the dividends." She went for a podcast and denied everything. She even told them she broke up with Olajide long ago when she noticed he was into fraud, and that is because she couldn't condone it. Nikky cleverly used some of Olajide's money to stage social media giveaways and charity drives, further solidifying her image as a benevolent influencer. Her followers adored her, unaware of the secrets she kept hidden. At an exclusive party in Lekki, Nikky met Daniel, popularly known as Young Money. He was younger than Olajide, but even wealthier, with a charm that made him the center of attention. The room seemed quiet as he walked in, exuding confidence. Nikky was immediately intrigued. "Hi, I'm Daniel," he said, slipping a bundle of $10,000 into her hands like it was nothing. Nikky smiled, her heart racing. "You can call me Nikky," she said. The chemistry between them was undeniable. By the end of that night, Daniel had claimed her attention, ignoring the other women vying for his. The relationship blossomed quickly, with Daniel showering her with gifts. He bought her a luxurious house in a gated estate in Lekki and replaced her Mercedes-Benz with the latest model. Aduni hosted a lavish party in Daniel's honor, inviting friends and acquaintances to celebrate. "Daniel is 10 times the man Olajide was," she declared, raising her glass during a toast. Daniel wasn't just a flashy businessman. His wealth came from high-level cyber scams and laundering money for corrupt politicians. Nikky became more than his partner. She became his accomplice. Her ability to mimic accents and personas made her invaluable during their operations. She poured into the phone one evening, pretending to be an American woman in distress.
Hey love, I really need to talk to you about something that's been weighing on my heart. Lately, I've been facing some unexpected challenges, and it's been really tough on me.
The man on the other end, smitten by her charm, transferred $50,000 within minutes. Daniel laughed, impressed. "You are natural. You are born to do this, baby," he said. But his trust in Nikky began to waver as their operations attracted more attention from law enforcement. One evening, Nikky overheard a heated argument between Daniel and a client, a powerful politician named Chief Shubomi. "You stole my money, Daniel," Shubomi barked over the phone. "I didn't steal anything," Daniel replied, his voice cold. Truly, Daniel had diverted 200 million naira of Chief Shubomi's money, which he had spent to buy a house and a new Range Rover Jeep. Nikky felt uneasy hearing the exchange but decided not to interfere. Over the following weeks, Daniel's paranoia grew. He became more secretive, constantly looking over his shoulders. One day, as they returned from the party, they noticed a black-tinted car following them. Daniel managed to lose the vehicle, but it was clear Chief Shubomi wasn't letting the matter go. Life with Daniel became increasingly tense. They moved from one hotel to another, trying to stay ahead of Shubomi's men. Nikky began to feel the weight of her decisions. She had always believed she could handle anything, but this was a different level of danger. One evening, as she scrolled through her phone, a message from an unknown number popped up. "Watch your back." Nikky's hand shook as she showed the message to Daniel. "It's nothing," he said dismissively, but she could see the worry in his eyes. Meanwhile, whispers of Olajide's bitterness reached Nikky. "She abandoned me when I needed her most," Olajide reportedly told a fellow inmate. "Even the day I was arrested, she had my money with her. she'll pay for this one day. Nikky tried to push the guilt aside. I'm not the cause of his problems, she told herself, but deep down, she felt a growing sense of unease. One day, as they were coming from the mall, they noticed two men running to catch up with them. Immediately, they ran into their car and zoomed off. Daniel decided it was time to leave the country. The constant threats from Tsubomi and the looming danger had left him on the edge. He booked 2 tickets to Europe for himself and Nikky, hoping to escape and start all over. He was tired of living in constant fear and panic. A day before their departure, they left their hotel and returned to Daniel's house to pack. Nikky felt a strange sense of unease as she gathered her belongings. "Are you sure this is a good idea?" she asked Daniel, watching him pack his things too. "We'll be fine," he said, though his voice lacked conviction. They decided to sleep at the house for that night since their flight was early the next morning. Everything seemed normal until around 2 a.m. when Nikky was awakened by some faint sounds, footsteps and murmurs in the distance. She woke Daniel up immediately. He immediately switched on his CCTV feed. What he saw made his blood run cold. Five armed men in black suits moving stealthily towards the house. "They found us," he said, his voice grim. Daniel shook Nikky. "Get dressed now," he ordered. She stared at him, wide-eyed, and he retrieved his gun from under his pillow. "You have a gun?" she whispered, shocked. "I never wanted it to come to this," Daniel said, loading the weapon, "but I'm not going down without a fight." Panicking, Nikky grabbed her phone and called her mother. "Mama, everything is falling apart," she cried, explaining the situation. Aduni, for the first time, was at a loss of words. Men with guns? "Nikky, what have you gotten yourself into?" she asked, her voice trembling. Before Nikky could respond, the sound of glass shattering downstairs sent her into a frenzy. "Mama, they are inside," she screamed. Daniel took her hands and led her to a hidden staircase that led to the basement. "Stay here," he instructed. Aduni could not sleep that night. The breadwinner of her family was in trouble. Nikky clung to the phone, her heart pounding. From the basement, she could hear a phone conversation of one of the men.
"I think he has a partner, maybe his girlfriend."
From the other end, Chief Tsubomi said,
"Finish them all."
All of a sudden, she heard the exchange of gunshots. Out of fear, she screamed.